Do you remember how Guiding Light made viewers believe that no secret could stay buried forever in Springfield? The same was true behind the scenes. One legendary actor lost his job because of undiagnosed ALS. Some stars died unexpectedly, and the series ended so suddenly that many fans thought the announcement was an April Fool's joke. Let's uncover the truth behind it all, because this is the side of Hollywood they never wanted you to see. We begin with Kim Zimmer, the actress who made Reva Shane one of the most iconic women in daytime television. She was 28 years old when she joined Guiding Light in 1983, portraying a fiercely independent and outspoken woman whose passionate nature and resilience made her impossible to forget. As the emotional heart of the series, Reva became the driving force behind many of the show's biggest storylines and its most recognizable character. Her extraordinary performances earned her 4 Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actress, firmly establishing her among the greatest soap stars of her generation. Beyond television, she also appeared in Broadway's hit musical Wicked, proving her talent reached far beyond daytime drama. Her toughest battle, however, happened away from the cameras. In November 2023, Zimmer was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she chose to speak openly about her treatment throughout 2024, hoping to encourage others facing the same diagnosis. Through it all, she remained remarkably optimistic, supported by her husband, actor and director A.C. Weary, whom she has been married to since 1981, along with their 3 children, including actor Jake Weary. By 2026, at 71 years old, Kim Zimmer continues recovering while enjoying life with her family in Montclair, New Jersey. More than 4 decades after first becoming Reva Shane, she remains one of the greatest legends in American daytime television. Then came Michael Zaslow. He was only 29 years old when he played Roger Thorpe in 1971. Playing a ruthless, manipulative businessman, Zaslow transformed Roger from a conventional soap villain into one of the most unforgettable antagonists in American television history. Handpicked by legendary casting director Betty Ree, he quickly became one of the show's biggest stars. Behind that remarkable success was a career built on extraordinary dedication. Zaslow's chilling portrayal of Roger earned him a Daytime Emmy Award in 1994 and countless accolades from soap opera fans. He was also remembered by science fiction audiences for playing crewman Darnell in the very first episode of Star Trek in 1966, long before becoming a daytime television icon. His greatest tragedy, however, unfolded during the final years of his life. In 1997, Zaslow began slurring his words and struggling to speak while filming Guiding Light. Rather than supporting one of its most beloved actors, the network replaced him with another performer, a decision that sparked widespread outrage among viewers. He was later diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, and despite fighting the disease with remarkable courage, he passed away from a heart attack on December 6, 1998, at just 56 years old. The heartbreak continued after his death when his eldest daughter, Helena, died in 2004 at the age of 19, followed by the death of his wife, Susan Hufford, from cancer in 2006. More than 2 decades after his passing, Roger Thorpe is still regarded as one of the greatest villains ever created for daytime television, and Zaslow's unforgettable performance continues to influence generations of soap opera actors. Beth Raines had already become a familiar name before Beth Chamberlain entered the picture, but it was her performance that gave the character an entirely new depth. She was 26 years old when she joined Guiding Light in 1989, winning the role after an intensely competitive audition process. Playing a devoted mother and respected doctor, Beth became one of the series' most dependable and beloved characters. Producers were particularly drawn to Chamberlain's expressive eyes and her ability to portray a woman whose quiet strength had been forged through hardship. Taking over an established character was no small challenge. Chamberlain had to earn the trust of longtime viewers while making Beth feel uniquely her own. Over the years, she delivered some of the show's most emotionally complex storylines, including Beth's dual role as Lorelei Hills, a performance that earned her a Daytime Emmy nomination in 2010. She later expanded her career with appearances in projects such as La Reina del Sur Season 3 in 2022. Recently, she also chose to focus on building a healthy and balanced life. She became a certified kettlebell instructor and has maintained a disciplined fitness routine that continues to support her health. Off-screen, she has enjoyed a long and private marriage to Dr. Peter Roy since 1994, keeping her family life largely out of the public eye. By 2026, at 62 years old, Beth Chamberlain continues to live a peaceful life in the United States while remaining a beloved figure among Guiding Light fans. Her career is a reminder that lasting success isn't always about making the loudest impression. Sometimes it's about quietly earning the audience's respect, year after year. Leigh Lawson brought a comforting presence to Guiding Light. At 40 years old, she joined the series in 1981 as Bea Reardon, the loving mother and steady foundation of the Reardon family. Her warmth and quiet strength quickly made the character a fan favorite. Her gentle screen presence also led to opportunities beyond Guiding Light. Audiences recognized her from roles in Love of Life and later in the crime drama Reasonable Doubts, 1991, where she continued to showcase the same emotional authenticity that had defined much of her career. Yet her greatest challenge began only after leaving Guiding Light in 1990. As acting opportunities became increasingly scarce, Lawson found herself facing a painful midlife career crisis. Rather than desperately chasing fading Hollywood success, she made the remarkable decision to reinvent her life completely. Returning to school, she earned a doctorate in clinical psychology in Los Angeles, dedicating herself to helping people struggling with emotional trauma while also finding healing for herself. Years later, she faced another devastating battle when she developed cancer, and after also contracting COVID-19, she passed away in New York on May 22, 2022, at the age of 80. Her story remains one of Hollywood's most inspiring reinventions. She built an entirely new purpose beyond acting, leaving behind a legacy of compassion that extended far beyond the television screen. For many Guiding Light fans, Robert Gentry became the face of Dr. Ed Bauer when he joined Guiding Light at just 26 years old. As a compassionate physician and one of the most respected members of the legendary Bauer family, Ed was the steady presence viewers could always rely on during the show's biggest family dramas. Portraying Dr. Ed Bauer for years required consistency and enormous discipline. Gentry carried the responsibility of maintaining the character's integrity while the series constantly evolved around him, helping make Ed one of Guiding Light's most recognizable figures. Outside the show, he also appeared in popular daytime dramas including Another World and All My Children, further cementing his reputation as a familiar face in American soap operas. As the years passed, Gentry gradually stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a much quieter life than the one he had spent decades living on television. In his 80s, he has faced the natural health challenges that come with aging, limiting his public appearances and largely staying out of the media while enjoying time with his family. By 2026, Robert Gentry is 85 years old and fully retired from acting. Living peacefully in the United States, he remains fondly remembered by longtime Guiding Light fans as the dependable doctor whose calm presence helped define generations of the Bauer family. Next, Jerry Verdorn became the face of Ross Marler when he joined Guiding Light at 30 years old in 1979. Playing Springfield's respected attorney and moral compass, Ross was known for his integrity, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to justice, making him one of the series' most trusted and dependable characters. With his distinguished appearance and natural authority, Verdorn stood out from numerous candidates and quickly made the role his own. For more than 25 years, he remained one of Guiding Light's most beloved leading men. His outstanding work earned him 2 Daytime Emmy Awards, and after leaving the series, he found continued success as Clint Buchanan on One Life to Live. However, his departure from Guiding Light in 2005 was far from the ending many fans had hoped for. As the show's darker creative direction and budget cuts reshaped the series, Verdorn made the difficult decision to leave the role that had defined much of his career and join a competing network. In early 2022, Verdorn was diagnosed with cancer, and the illness progressed with devastating speed. He passed away on May 1, 2022, at his home in Sparta, New Jersey, at the age of 72, leaving family, friends, and longtime fans mourning the loss of one of daytime television's finest actors. Few characters in Guiding Light endured as much heartbreak as Holly Norris, and Maureen Garrett brought remarkable depth to the role after joining the series at 28 years old in 1976. Playing a fiercely independent woman and devoted mother, Garrett quickly transformed Holly into one of the show's most layered characters. Chosen to replace original actress Lynn Deerfield after only a 3-month search in New York, she made the role entirely her own almost immediately. The character's most controversial storyline also became one of the darkest chapters of Garrett's career. Holly was written into a shocking marital rape storyline involving the villain Roger Thorpe. The emotional weight of those scenes left Garrett mentally exhausted, ultimately leading her to leave the series in 1980 so she could step away and heal. Her outstanding work nevertheless earned her 3 Daytime Emmy nominations, and she also appeared in Ryan's Hope. Away from the cameras, Garrett carried another deeply personal burden for many years. Fearing prejudice from both society and the entertainment industry, she kept her sexual orientation private for decades before eventually embracing life openly with her longtime partner, J.M. Morgan. Together, they have shared more than 30 years together while raising 3 sons, and Garrett has since chosen a peaceful life far removed from Hollywood. By 2026, at 77 years old, Maureen Garrett is happily retired and enjoying a quiet life with her family. Although she left the spotlight behind, her fearless portrayal of Holly Norris remains one of the most powerful and emotionally unforgettable performances in Guiding Light history. Soon, Mary Stuart added another unforgettable role to her remarkable career. By the time she joined Guiding Light in 1996, she was already a legend of American daytime television. At 70 years old, she took on the role of Meta Bauer, the wise and respected matriarch whose strength and compassion helped preserve the proud legacy of the Bauer family. Stuart gave the character a warmth and dignity that immediately resonated with longtime viewers. Her reputation had been built long before arriving in Springfield. Stuart spent an extraordinary 35 consecutive years portraying Joanne Gardner on Search for Tomorrow, a remarkable achievement that earned her a place in the Guinness Book of World Records and a Daytime Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award. Her arrival on Guiding Light was seen as a celebration of daytime television history. Behind that remarkable career, however, was a lifetime of painful personal struggles. In her memoir, Both of Me, Stuart revealed that her first marriage to Richard Krolik was filled with emotional abuse, constant humiliation, and relentless criticism of her acting career. Desperate to escape the emotional pain, she turned to alcohol and powerful tranquilizers, admitting that she even contemplated suicide on multiple occasions. During her final years, she endured the devastating effects of stomach cancer that had spread to her bones and lungs while continuing to battle severe emotional stress before passing away on February 28, 2002, at the age of 75. Remembered as one of the greatest pioneers in the genre, she left behind a legacy defined not only by extraordinary longevity, but also by remarkable courage in the face of unimaginable hardship. Soon, a rebellious spirit stole the spotlight. Beth Ehlers burst onto guiding light in 1987 at just 19 years old as Harley Cooper, a rebellious young woman whose fearless attitude and stubborn determination quickly made her one of Springfield's most popular characters. Ehlers brought an energy to the role that immediately set her apart from the rest of the cast. Her talent was recognized throughout her career. Ehlers received an extraordinary 5 Daytime Emmy nominations across 3 different acting categories: Outstanding Younger Actress, Supporting Actress, and Lead Actress, an achievement few performers have matched. Yet one of the biggest turning points in her life came in 1993, when she left Guiding Light to move to California with her then-boyfriend, in hopes of finding greater opportunities in Hollywood. Instead, the gamble became one of the hardest chapters of her life. After the relationship ended, Ehlers suddenly found herself unemployed and struggling to rebuild her career. With acting opportunities disappearing, she accepted work as a low-level production assistant on music videos simply to support herself, a painful contrast to the success she had enjoyed on daytime television. Although the instability took an emotional toll, she eventually found her way back to acting and gradually rebuilt her career. By 2026, at 57 years old, Beth Ehlers lives a quieter life, making only occasional appearances in commercial entertainment while focusing on independent projects. After experiencing both remarkable success and painful setbacks, her journey remains a powerful reminder of just how unpredictable life in Hollywood can be. Power, wealth, and ruthless ambition defined Alan Spaulding. Ron Rains was 37 years old when he joined Guiding Light in 1986 to play this role. As the calculating patriarch of the powerful Spaulding family, Alan was a master manipulator whose influence touched nearly every major storyline in Springfield. Rains gave the character a commanding presence that made him one of the show's most unforgettable villains. Long before becoming a soap opera star, Rains had built an impressive career in musical theater after graduating from the prestigious Juilliard School. At a crucial moment in his career, he made the risky decision to leave a national tour of The Sound of Music in order to accept the role of Alan Spaulding, a gamble that ultimately changed his life. His performance earned him 3 Daytime Emmy nominations, while his acclaimed portrayal of Ben Stone in Broadway's Follies later brought him a Tony Award nomination in 2012. Unlike many of his longtime co-stars, Rains has enjoyed a relatively stable personal life away from the spotlight. He remains happily married to stage director Donna D. Vaughn, and together they have raised their daughter, Charlotte. Even in his 70s, he has continued to maintain the rich baritone voice that first made him successful on the stage, occasionally returning to live theater performances. By 2026, at 76 years old, Ron Rains remains one of the most respected performers to emerge from Guiding Light. His remarkable ability to move effortlessly between Broadway and daytime television stands as a testament to a career built on talent, versatility, and enduring dedication. Few characters stirred up trouble quite like Nola Reardon, and Lisa Brown was only 26 years old when she stepped into the role in 1980. Playing a bold, ambitious young woman whose charm often masked her manipulative nature, Brown turned Nola into one of the most captivating bad girls of daytime television during the 1980s. Her magnetic performance made the character impossible to ignore and quickly won over audiences. The role launched Brown to national recognition and opened the door to an impressive career beyond Guiding Light. She later gained worldwide fame as Iva Snyder on As the World Turns, and also starred in Broadway's acclaimed production of 42nd Street, proving she could command both the television screen and the stage with equal confidence. Behind the scenes, however, her personal life was far less glamorous. Brown's on-screen romance with co-star Tom Nielsen developed into a real-life relationship, and the couple married in 1979. But as their fame grew, so did the pressures surrounding their careers and life together. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1985, leaving Brown emotionally devastated and prompting her to step away from one of the biggest roles of her career for a period of time. Years later, she faced another heartbreaking challenge when she was diagnosed with cancer, passing away after a brief illness on November 24, 2021, at the age of 67. Although her life was marked by both triumph and heartbreak, Lisa Brown remains one of daytime television's most unforgettable leading ladies. Next we have Marge Doucet. She was 57 years old when she became one of Springfield's most powerful and sophisticated women in Guiding Light in 1993. As the wealthy, sharp-minded matriarch of the Spaulding family, Alexandra was known for her intelligence, elegance, and ruthless determination. Succeeding Beverly McKinsey was no easy task, but Doucet quickly made the role her own with a commanding performance that earned widespread praise. Long before arriving on Guiding Light, Doucet had already built a successful career in both film and television. She appeared alongside Elvis Presley in Clambake, 1967, and later received a Daytime Emmy nomination for her work as Alexandra, further cementing her reputation as one of daytime television's most accomplished actresses. Away from the spotlight, however, her life was filled with heartbreaking loss. In 1987, she lost her second husband, and only a few years later, in 1993, the very year she joined Guiding Light, her son Randy tragically died from complications related to AIDS. Those devastating losses left her facing the later years of her life without the two people closest to her. As she grew older, she also struggled with financial pressures and the health challenges that often accompany old age, spending her final years in increasing solitude before passing away in Manhattan on January 28, 2020, at the age of 83. Despite enduring profound personal tragedies, she left behind a legacy as one of the most commanding and respected actresses in daytime television history. Then, Mary Pat Gleason joined Guiding Light in 1985 at the age of 35 as Jane Hogan, but her impact on the series reached far beyond her on-screen role. While portraying the spirited Jane, she also showcased an exceptional gift behind the scenes, becoming one of the show's talented writers. Her rare ability to excel in both acting and storytelling made her an invaluable part of the production. That versatility opened the door to an extraordinary career. In 1986, Gleason won a Daytime Emmy Award as a member of the Guiding Light writing team, and she later appeared in more than 50 films and television productions, including Basic Instinct, Bruce Almighty, and 13 Going on 30. Whether writing scripts or delivering memorable supporting performances, she became one of Hollywood's most dependable character actresses. Behind her humor and infectious personality, however, Gleason fought a far more difficult battle. For years, she struggled with bipolar disorder, an illness that brought intense emotional highs and devastating lows, while she continued working in one of the entertainment industry's most demanding environments. In her final years, she was also diagnosed with uterine cancer, and despite her determination, the disease gradually took its toll before she passed away on June 2, 2020, at the age of 70. Although she is no longer here, Mary Pat Gleason left behind a legacy unlike almost anyone else in daytime television. She succeeded not only as an actress, but also as an award-winning writer, proving that some of Hollywood's greatest talents make their mark both in front of the camera and behind it. Finally, Renoir White made history in his own quiet way. Joining Guiding Light in 1986 at 42 years old as William Reynolds, he became one of the pioneering black male actors to gain meaningful visibility in daytime television, leaving an impact that reached far beyond the role itself. Long before entering the world of soap operas, White had already made history in fashion. In 1979, he became only the second black model ever to appear on the cover of GQ magazine and went on to model for legendary brands including Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren, and Versace. His groundbreaking success earned him recognition as one of the most influential black male models of his generation. Breaking those barriers, however, came at an enormous personal cost. As one of the few black pioneers working at the highest levels of both fashion and television during the 1970s and 1980s, White carried the constant pressure of knowing that every mistake could reinforce harmful stereotypes. He once admitted that he lived with the fear that a single wrong move would not only destroy his own career, but also close the door for other black performers hoping to follow. Choosing never to marry or have children, he spent much of his life facing quiet isolation while navigating the unspoken prejudice of elite Hollywood circles. Sadly, White passed away at Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan on June 26, 2024, at the age of 80, while receiving end-of-life hospice care. By breaking racial barriers with dignity and perseverance, he helped create opportunities for future generations, ensuring that his influence will continue to be felt long after his passing. So that's the Guiding Light cast in 2026. From unforgettable performances and lifelong friendships to heartbreaking losses and remarkable journeys, time has changed the cast in ways few fans could have imagined. Which cast member surprised you the most, and who will always be your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Then and Now updates.